Hey everybody, here we are at Affinity Estates where I'm going to address this bed right here in the most economical way I can think of, which is pull free plants out of my house and bring them over here. What I don't want to do is I don't want to have this variety hosta in only one place. So with such a big area, I mean, look at how big that is. I'm going to really have to spread these out a lot to make sure that there's cohesion throughout the entire flower bed, because it is enormous, and it's really empty and filled with, like, you know, not filled with anything, filled with weeds, and some random liriope here and there. But what we're going to do is we're just going to pop those in all throughout, so that way we keep cohesion throughout the whole thing, because this is going to be an evolving process. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to have one variety of hosta, it looks gorgeous over there, and then have a bunch of different varieties on this side. Really high visible area, a lot of people coming through here. And then, and we're also doing that experiment where we're going to do the hostas that I kind of cut off to reduce the top mass, because I reduced the amount of roots because I was separating them. And they're all not pulling their resources together now. Now they have to kind of fend for themselves. And we're going to kind of mix those throughout also, just to kind of see what happens. But, you know, after transporting them, after pulling them out, I don't know how much of the actual tissue from the top, those leaves and stems and things, I'm going to be able to save. But we'll see. That took probably 5 minutes. Got all the holes dug. I'm not a hero. The hero's on my shoulder, and what I've done is I've just kind of like, not necessarily randomly placed them, but I've placed them kind of in the drift style. You can kind of get an idea where they're going based on the holes, and we just kind of wrapped around the other side of that big white oak. And let's get planting. So if I could give you tips on transplant success, it's the same as my planting success: beneficial fungus, beneficial bacteria, and then the 2-year fertilizer tablets. If I didn't mention those already, that's kind of a big part of it. Give it as much nutrition as possible. Yesterday I came in and I planted some of those transplanted, I think they were Elegance hostas. I can't really tell. That's kind of the frustrating thing when you just move into a place and there's this just plain Jane green hosta. So I kind of intermix those in here, and then today I found some guacamole hostas, which I absolutely love. That's a good one. And then stained glass hosta, which is also a good one. So I found those. They were an excellent price for them in a 1-gallon pot, just a small little 1 gallon. 2-year fertilizer tablets, beneficial fungus, beneficial bacteria. I never worry what size I start with. The transplanted hostas from my yard, I'm going to work in further on down towards that giant white oak tree. And then I think this is probably going to be good for a while. Such a high visibility area like that, I kind of want to trick this out a little bit and dial it in next year. Lots of treff land. Or snapshot or whatever I got my hands on at the time, and do it to it and see what we're doing next year. Because the separated hostas that I planted at my house last year look like Lou Ferrigno, right? Or John Bastow, swole. So all right, let's get planting. Dug all the holes. Let me give you a quick look here. I've dug all the holes. I'm getting ready to inoculate them. All these holes took me about 5 minutes. I was using my favorite buddy there. Inoculate the soil that's around each hole, and then I'm going to drop 2-year fertilizer tablets next to each hole, and then I'm going to go back and plant it, and the whole process is going to take me 15 minutes, maybe. I'm trying not to be too cocky about it, but yeah, probably 10 minutes. Yeah. Hey, so this is day 3 that I've kind of been messing around down at Affinity Estates. I've had a lot of time to just kind of hang out and do my own thing. and this is where I like to spend my time. So day 3, here we are right at this huge shade bed right in front, and I pulled some more hostas from my house to pop in here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably about 10 or 12 additional hostas, and then the 15 hostas that I brought from my house that I separated the first day, and then the second day I came and went to the local hardware store and picked up some stained glass hostas and some guacamole hostas. Planted those yesterday, and then today here we are, and I've got 15 more to plant. So let's get planting. All right, everybody, so the planting's done. I think this bed is going to be fine if we can do about 6 inches of mulch and just let it simmer, build a real fungus-rich environment, and because we have all these big oak trees all around, and so they're bringing a lot of mycorrhiza to the table already. Then I pre-inoculated, and I used 2-year fertilizer tablets on everything, and which I love to use on hostas because they really show up to the party when you do that. But as far as that's concerned, guys, this bed is finished for the season. It looks great, and I would say a good 75% of these hostas that are in here are just free hostas from my yard, and so maybe I'll get my mulch. Thank you for watching Landscape Rescue, everybody. My name's Stuart Moore, and thank you very much for letting me into your home to talk about plants.